Hey guys, it's me, Seren, back with another car video, random car video. Tell me why I bought a new car mount, but I have not installed it yet, so I still have my old busted one. Sorry. So my phone might wobble around a little bit, it might fall off. I hope it doesn't. We'll see how it goes. Really nice day today, so and I had to go somewhere, so I wanted to film this video. So it's Monday. Yesterday was the season finale of Lovecraft Country. At the time of the filming of this video, I have not yet seen it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna do a final review, but I just wanted to make this video to talk a little bit about black shows, black TV, black movie, especially black American, but like black shows, TV, movies, music, as well as black critics. I've done several previous videos on black critics, on the importance of black critics. I've written literature on the importance of black critics, and especially black women critics, which I will include links to those previous videos and writings in the description box for anybody that wants to check them out. But I feel like as a black critic, and especially as a black woman critic, whenever I review, especially like black, like movies, TV shows, books, music, which is pretty much exclusively what I review, because I do not review white content, there's always this like subset of like pushback. And I noticed it a lot with Lovecraft Country. I noticed it a lot with Watchmen, especially like really high profile projects with like really high profile names attached. A lot of the times, if you actually critique these works, there is this immense pushback, like as if you're doing something wrong. It's been really, I feel like it's been really extreme with Lovecraft Country and with my Lovecraft Country reviews, because it's like there's this idea that especially if you're black, you have to like rave about these black projects, and especially these like really high profile black projects, because if you don't do it, like, sorry, somebody just like really jaywalked the fuck, like, sir, you saw me coming. Anyways, because it's like, if you're not raving about it and saying how it's so great and it's so amazing and it's so wonderful and it's so groundbreaking and it's like the best, most amazing, incredible, wonderful thing you've ever seen, it's like it's some type of betrayal. It's like, it's like, oh my gosh, like, we only have, but like, well, these are like, I would say these are the top two complaints. The first complaint, we don't have enough black content, we don't have enough black media, so you're not allowed to critique and or criticize anything made by a black person. And some people even push it. They even push it out to any POC. I know how I feel about the POC shit. For anybody that doesn't know how I feel about the POC shit, I can include links in the description box for that as well. They put, oh, now it's POC, gotta motherfucking stick together. And, like, we're not allowed to criticize. Now, I will definitely motherfucking criticize a quote-unquote POC. I don't give a fuck about a POC. But when it comes to, like, black media, I was just talking to somebody the other day, and this person was like that they think that it is unfair that they were like, we have a lack of black content. Yes, we have a lack of black media. Yes, we have a lack of, especially like black films and black TV shows. Yes, we have a lack of those things, but it's not fair to put it on the critics just because there's a lack of black film. They were talking about film in particular. Just because there's a lack of black filmmaking, they act like that means that like black critics are not allowed to actually fucking do our jobs and fucking critique the work. They were like, criticism comes from a place of love. Criticism comes from a place of wanting the work to be better, wanting it to improve, wanting it, especially for something like Lovecraft Country, which I absolutely adored. The first 4 episodes, you guys know I loved them, I raved about them, and then I felt like they sort of dropped the ball, they jumped the shark, and they lost their way, and I wanted them to get back on track. I felt like I gave, very fair criticisms. I always feel like my criticisms are fair. I have a whole review recaps playlist. I feel like my criticisms are always fair. I try to be really fair with the things that I say. Long-term subscribers know this. But it's unfair that since there's a lack of black media and black content, it seems like a lot of black consumers, they put the onus of responsibility on the critic they put the onus of responsibility on the reviewer and not necessarily on, I'm not going to say on the creator, well, yeah, I guess, and not on the creator, or even if you don't want to say the creator, but on the industry or on the infrastructure. What is the infrastructure to support black film? What is the infrastructure to support black TV shows? What is the infrastructure to support these things? Because, you know, we have the way that our infrastructure is set up, it is true that like black shows and filmmakers and things of that nature don't get very much support. But that doesn't mean that I'm talking specifically about black critics and black reviewers, and especially black women. That doesn't mean that like we're not allowed to do our jobs. And if we do our jobs, we're doing something wrong. It's some type of betrayal. We're somehow like betraying the fucking black community because we're like actually offering up a criticism. That's what we do, you know? And that's how your work gets better. As somebody that also creates, that is also a creative, my editors are so important to me. I will never forget the first time I had a piece of work professionally edited. It was a piece of fiction. It was a short story that I had written that was going to be published. And I will literally never forget this. So my main protagonist had broken ribs from something that happened earlier in the story. And then in the end, I had my protagonist like collapsing down onto a couch because I just had this like really cool end visual in my mind of them like finally getting like the girl of their dreams, and this woman, like, she just like collapsed onto the couch with her girlfriend, and it's just like, you know, and then like the trumpets play, you know. I have this whole idea because you're a creative. When you're a creative, you get caught up in the, not to say like it's like a God type thing, but you can get caught up in the nature of your creation, and you can, you know, not really think like, does it make sense? And I'll never forget, my editor like sent me back that like final edit, and they were like, yeah, just a few pages back, your protagonist got kicked in the ribs and got her ribs broken. Like, would she really be collapsing down on a couch like this? And I was just like, can I zoom? Lucky I can't. I tried to zoom. No, she wouldn't. You're absolutely right. It makes no sense. You're right, you know? And so I think that a lot of high profile writers and creators, they have a lot of yes people around them. They have people that just say yes, yes, yes. It's so great. It's so wonderful. Kanye West comes to mind. There's a lot of people that don't have those dissenting voices around them. They don't have, this is something that was said about Lovecraft Country. They don't have somebody in the room to be like, this is cool. It's awesome. You know, it's amazing. It sounds really amazing, but does it actually make sense? And that is also the job of the critic. That is also the job of the reviewer. That's also that is our job. And I feel like I've been getting a lot of pushback when I talk about things that I don't like about Lovecraft Country. A lot of it hasn't even been like, that's not true, I don't agree with you. It's mostly been, number one, you shouldn't say that because like we already don't have enough, you know, black sci-fi. We don't have enough black speculative fiction. Like, don't ruin this for the rest of us. Like, but our criticism and our critiques and our reviews don't come from a place of wanting to ruin it, right? And we want to improve it. We want to make it better, you know? Like, that's what makes things better. That's what makes things, you know, pinnacle, you know, and get better and better, improve and getting constructive criticism, which I feel like I give constructive criticism in all my reviews because I always try to say, this is how I think it could be made better or improved. So there's that type of pushback, like, no, you can't say that because like we already don't have enough. So, you know, like it's a betrayal. Like, you can't say that, you can't do that. You're going to make it harder. You're going to ruin it for the rest of us, which isn't fair. And that responsibility shouldn't be put on black critics and black reviewers, especially not black women. And the second thing that I've always heard is, well, if you don't like it, make your own show. Number one, as you guys know, I'm working on my own movie. But as I've said previously in other videos, somebody does not have to fucking make a video. They don't have to fucking make a TV show. They don't have to fucking write music. They don't have to fucking be a fucking expert in these fields to have an opinion, number one. And number two, as consumers, I also think that there can be some type of expertise just in being a consumer. I know niggas that love fucking movies. Now, they don't have the desire to necessarily make a movie, but they love movies. They love watching movies. They see every single movie. Me and my friend used to go see every single movie, and then we would go to Chipotle and we would fucking order food and talk about the movie. Me and my cousin have seen so many movies. Me and my cousin, like, we're the only people that we even fucking knew that watched, like, CinemaSins, because, like, we love movies. as consumers of movies, as consumers of media, we have opinions, because it's also true that once you've consumed so many books, so many movies, so much music, so much television, that you also can get a feel just as a consumer, not even necessarily as someone that has to make it yourself. You also can get a feel as a consumer for plot. You can get a feel as a consumer for, I like this plot, I don't like this plot. I like this, I don't like this. I don't like this, I don't like that. You can develop a sense of taste. You can do all of these things just as a consumer. You don't necessarily have to, well, just make your own shit. Like, what does that have to do with people giving their opinion? And that's not to say that there's not motherfucking haters, because there is fucking haters. There's fucking haters everywhere that's gonna hate on some shit. But I think that there's a difference between actual criticism and, again, constructive criticism. And I do think that we're in a sort of lost time of criticism right now, because it's just like, and it's really like with stan culture and with shit being high profile and being blown up, it's like you're not allowed to say that you don't like it. You're not allowed to say that you don't think it's good. You're not allowed to say that it could be improved. All you can do is like rave and say how wonderful it is, or else motherfuckers have a fucking problem. And it's just like, people are allowed to not like some shit that you like. It's fine. It's cool. People are allowed, and by people I mean black people, are allowed to criticize things that you like. It can be constructive, it can be healthy, it can be productive, you know. And even I've said numerous times about Lovecraft Country, I love Misha Green, I love Journey Smollett, I love Jonathan Majors. I've seen literally every single one of Jonathan Majors' projects. Like, I love Anjanou Ellis. Like, it's nothing personal against anybody involved. I'm just giving my critique of the show. This is what I think is strong. This is what I think is weak. I think the cinematic elements are great, yet I think the plot could use some work. It just seems very gaslighting, guilting, shaming to talk to black critics and reviewers and be like, no, you shouldn't say that because, you know, oh, we don't have enough shit and now it's your responsibility because you fucking gave a fair criticism. Now it's your fault that we don't have enough shit. Like, no, like, y'all need to really fucking get out of this stan mindset. I know, like, the stan shit has become the norm, but y'all need to really get out of this, like, stan mindset that, like, everything is, like, some stan shit. Everything is not some stan shit. Everything is not people, you know, trying to fucking be against you and your fave. And people are allowed to give constructive criticism and critiques, and especially black reviewers and black critics reviewing black art, I think is extremely important. I've talked about how I don't fuck with white critics. I don't fuck with white reviewers. I don't really believe in them. I don't really think they should even be allowed in a lot of ways to come near black art because they don't understand it. They don't understand the way that we talk and our speech patterns and things of that nature. I think black critics and reviewers are extremely important, and especially black American, because even fewer, when we're talking about black critics and reviewers, even fewer black Americans specifically are able to break into and get into these fields. The majority of them are in fact foreign blacks. And I just think it's really important because we have to be constantly pushing ourselves and constantly pushing our art and constantly improving and constantly working. And I just feel like everybody needs to, like, back the fuck up off of black fucking critics and reviewers, especially black women and especially black Americans, because, like, we need that for our art to continue to grow and move and evolve. And I really think that stan culture is really fucking up people's minds, because people really think like, well, I like this thing, so nobody's allowed to say anything I don't like about it. Like, and there's so much media also, like, you don't have to listen to a review. Like, you can listen to the podcast. You can read the fan shit on fucking wherever. I want to say Tumblr, but, you know, I don't know how many of y'all are on Tumblr. I'm still on Tumblr. But, like, you can read the fan shit. You could, like, you could be in fandom. Being in fandom is different than listening to a critic or reading a critic, or, you know, a critic's job is not to be a fan. And I think that that's like a thing, and I feel like it's going to get worse and worse, this inability of people to have the perception, you know, like, people are not perceptive enough to even know when something is actually constructive criticism. It's just like everything is just like, no, you can't say that to me, you can't say that to me. So I just, like, really want to say, like, especially as we like continue on getting black TV shows, black movies, black books, you know, music, all these things that I do review on my channel. Again, you guys can feel free to check out the review and recaps playlist for, you know, it's a complete playlist of all the things that I've ever reviewed. We just have to give black critics and reviewers the fucking space, the same space as anybody else, to review our art. And it's important. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. Car video, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Food for thought as always. See you guys next time. Peace. I do have my mask. It's right here.